His best three is going to be in the top left side, our blue Protoss player Creator. And in the bottom right, it is going to be the red Terran ByuN. Get this one up and running, get this underway. Look to see just what's going to happen over the course of another series of StarCraft 2 here today. We'll get this all started up. See what exactly is going to go down. Game number 1 of this best of 3, and again, important matchup because it's the one that qualifies you in, so like I say, it's definitely going to have a little bit of importance attached to it. Lose here and your journey in this event is already done. Probe comes up, is just going to be taking a couple shots of damage as well. It's just going to be seeing that coming through as well, so a little bit of action there. Just going to be seeing the Proby then moving back for a little bit. Obviously just going to try and get a little bit of scouting done early on. Get that all set up. Going to be seeing a couple of Reapers coming around for a little bit. Zergberger, thank you so much for the 18-month resub. Welcome back. Appreciate it. Thank you very much as our Reaper heads down to the bottom right-hand side. A couple more Reapers and a Hellion all continue to come on through. As you just see our Reaper and Hellion together, joining and getting settled for a couple of moments. So again, everything getting pretty happy over there. Seeing our Reapers and our Hellions coming back across for a little bit, so again, trying to see a little bit more of just what is taking place. Obviously, with this Reaper Hellion open, you're really hoping to put a little bit of pressure in, so looking to get that done for a couple of moments. As you see, our Reapers and our Hellions continuing through. Adepts and the Stalk are going to fire away. The Reaper is going to go down. I mean, just trading with these units is not exactly great for these units. I mean, we do get 2 Reapers out alive, but yeah, I mean, you kill off, what, a single Adept for 2 Hellions and a Reaper. It's not what you're really looking for. You know, you'd love to get some probes with this. I mean, you still have 2 Reapers alive, so maybe they can find something at some stage, but this was not quite the opening anything that ByuN was on the hunt for at all. And now we'll see what the next step of this will be from him as we look to see where things are going, as we just have the blink again about to come up here in the next couple of moments. We get that all online and running. That Warp Prison coming up as well, so Creator is very ready to put 3 gateways of blink pressure onto ByuN's side of the map after ByuN unsuccessfully goes in with some early game units. Prism is going to be finishing again, a couple of simulators coming up, probes coming in, barracks, SCVs, tank, engineering bay, but everything continues to come up as well. The Marines are still in production. Stalkers will begin to move onto the map a little bit. Prism is going to be there as well. A couple of Reapers pull back. The Stalkers blink. They're going to find Reaper number 1, looking for Reaper number 2. There it is, chased out over to the far right-hand side. Reapers will both fall. Reapers will be gone, so Reapers down. That means you're fully able to just focus on attacking here as Creator. ByuN has nothing on the map. It's a full offense mode. Let's see what what happens. To make our way in a position as Prism comes around into the main base. Stalkers fire. Marines already taking some trades, just going to be taking a couple of shots. A couple of Marines going down, missile turret about to finish, +1 attack and stim on the way through. And again, the Marines and the Marauder continue to come around a little bit as well. And Prism will unload a few more of those Stalkers. Just going to be seeing the Storm still chrono boosting along. +1 attacks, stim pack all the way up. Marine Marauder still coming about. Raven still in that top left-hand side, so again, just hiding away over there for a little bit. Just for a few moments. Our Stalkers continue to unload out over here, and we've got a little bit of bio that's already there as well, ready to fight back a little, so we'll do just that, start a fight back for a little while. Take a couple of trades. He's actually going to catch the Prism, which is really nice. This really does mean that the end of, well, this set of harassment is pretty much going to come to a close now, so that's going to be more or less the end of that one, so that's a little bit of a bummer, to say the least. In fact, loads up a few Marines, and they're going to go on a bit of a journey as well, so away they go. One Storm dropping down and just going to be having this a little bit of bio. Going to get chased away once again. So it's going to get pushed on out of there. Again, chase that out for a couple of moments. That's going to be the Army of Creator now pulling back up to the top side. So he's going to get out, he's going to pull it back and look elsewhere for a little bit. We've got that medevac still around from ByuN in the top. We'll be looking for a little bit of a movement in the next few moments, I'm sure, to try and find even further damage. I'm still coming around the bottom side, so again continues to get into location. Again, just more opportunities to potentially get going. We have our Dark Shrine coming up. The Forge and the Robo facility continue to come through as well. CC coming up to give us a fourth base option as well is always going to be a nice one, so we just get that on the way. So we see our Bioforce in the center obviously wants to try and fight a little bit, so we are going to come back through. Again, just trying to chase for a little while. Disruptor still joined up there. The Stalkers are still continuing to gather together. Stalkers, the Archon, the Disruptors all joining up. We do have ourselves the A couple of DTs on the way in as well. Just going to be seeing our Shadow Stride to go along with that, so that's going to be something additional added on throughout the course of this. Oh, dropping the main. I was actually going to get the Forge, which would be a huge kill. Oh, the Disruptor saves the day. Hits everything. What a huge play. That is actually massive for Creator, because saving the Forge saves the +2. That is absolutely massive. As we are going to be having ourselves the Forge saved, upgrade gets to continue into play. That really is a big deal. I mean, what a huge effort that is. ByuN asking him to kill the Forge himself. Yeah, deserved, right? Deserved. Chris says, of course, absolutely. I'm on that one. ... Zealots and DTs continue to come across here. We are going to have our Disruptor shots going through. A few more DTs still swiping away on the Planetary Fortress. Again, those Disruptors continue to come in, and we are going to aim for this Planetary. We are going to get there. No, we're not. The repair is good. The DTs will go down. And that is going to be a back and forth on the other side. Let's just have ourselves. The Planetary now stays alive, and I'm sure Creator will be asking ByuN to kill off this Planetary Fortress, right? So, yeah, very happy set of trades in that regard, I'm sure. Just gonna see ourselves a well, a couple of bits and pieces going down. We do have the couple of Stalkers coming through as well. Just trying to see a little bit more of what else is happening here. We've got our Bioforces split up across, the Vikings overhead. It's going to be seeing the Fusion Core. As again, that advanced ballistics up, so we are going to start seeing that later stage of the game getting developed here over the next few moments. Again, all of that ready to roll. As you have the Bio continue to come around, Vikings are coming across. We've got ourselves the +2 armor on the way, the +3 attack is coming in as well. Having our army continue to move about. We do have a couple of shots coming through, and the Vikings still overhead. This game is absolutely continuing to delve deeper and later into the game, so getting into those later stages, seeing more and more of this developing through. This one will come down. Creator blinking down to that bottom left side. Ooh. Some pretty decent Disruptor shots there, actually. Planetary Fortress will be blown up. Again, Libs and Marauders continue to come through. More Stalkers coming about. New model on the way. They're still looking to push around this bottom side. And they're staying aggressive. Blinking forwards even. Tanks nearby. Libera's going to try and take position. As you bring that 3-3 up, we're going to see 5 Libs on the way all at once. Like the Stargates and the Fleet Beacon coming through as well. To get all that on the go. And, well, again, obviously, Creator is very happy to play into the later stages of this game. Typically, that's very good for a Pros player. You know, if you get those carriers up, that's typically a stage of the game that you're pretty happy to play in. Flip taking a couple of shots. Again, moving back to the middle of the map. Another scan coming around. It's going to be seeing ourselves the +3 ship weapons, +3 armor. All coming about still for the moment. TMP's going across those cannons. DT's going to go blink on the right side. That's a planetary that's been repaired once again. If we kill those two DTs, we don't have the DPS anymore. And if once more DTs are unsuccessful in killing the planetary, well, a bit more of a base ready situation as obviously ByuN's army is across the map, across the other side, getting some work done. Nice timing to fight because he's going to be able to shoot down carriers for free. Those numbers are really not that amazing just yet, and Creator's supply is struggling. I mean, ByuN's army is just a much better base trading army, quite frankly, as well. We dive in here, knock down this pylon robo, we're going to be in trouble, so we're going to lose the reproduction structures. ByuN is just advancing much more quickly in this base trade than Creator is. Creator gets up onto the production right now. ByuN is taking time to hit the natural. I mean, he does have to make sure he keeps scans alive as well. I mean, to be fair, he's not actually made it into the production lines. He's going to start going just for all of the bases. There's going to be a high tempo there that doesn't have a storm, so just drops a feedback before it is going to be meeting its end. Maybe if ByuN just gets every base, leaving the production up would be okay, although Creator still has some money to spend, so you do give Creator then that chance. Then I maybe don't like this as much, right? Creator's been able to warp in throughout this, he's been able to start spending that money, and now Creator actually has an army supply lead. ByuN is beginning to come back home. He's got Liberators shutting down probes on the final mineral line of Creator, but again, Creator still has a production line. As you see, these Stalkers in some trouble. Not the strongest set of units just yet. The extra barracks all coming through. An extra couple Marauders coming about. Barracks still dropping down. This main base getting cleaned up in general. ByuN is rebuilding elsewhere, so has a lot more bases around the map, but obviously the cost of rebuilding is going to add up as well. Also going to be a bit of the problem here is, I guess, Creator's problem is that his army isn't actually that strong, all said and done. Nice grappling on Immortal, though. That definitely helps. They scan each other. Keep an eye out here. The few Marauders still coming about. More DTs will get warped in. Orbital is going to lift off. Just going to move over to the sides. Another couple shots come through, and that is going to be Disruptor trying to fire forwards. More High Templars morphing in. Just going to get those morphed into Archons. Start stimming up again. Creator's now got multiple bases coming back online. Again, still has a lot of his production available from before as well, so just really trying to hold out on all of that. We do kill his Disruptor. Creator stays about 20 army supply in the lead. Has been able to keep that lead consistently for a while now. Boom. Disruptor. Doesn't connect. That base is in a dangerous place. We recall a bunch of units. Leaving some Stalkers behind. These libs finally going to be dealt with. Well, kind of. Some units remain. This wasn't good. Loses pretty much all those stalkers, doesn't get much out of them. We are going to find some of the production here. Ben just has to get down the ramp against the disruptors. There's only a couple though, it shouldn't be impossible. Okay, there's 3. Maybe it's doable. Tell you what, we're seeing a lot of 20-minute games today. I think this 20-minute marker a few times over. Gonna see the Nexus still coming about, Factory coming up, and Marauders on the way in. The rest of this Bio coming over here, gonna dive onto Disruptor 1, gonna dive onto Disruptor 2. Just gonna drop the EMP down, another Disruptor shot comes in. The Disruptor does fall there, Sentry gets picked away, the Storm comes down. Off this army from ByuN pulling back down the right side is just gonna go after a few of these Stalkers. Wouldn't mind shot hits, I mean some of these Stalkers are just gonna melt here. EMPs on the Archons. Can we follow up and kill those Archons? We're starting to get there. ByuN has units from the left-hand side as well. Good save from the Prism. You see another Ghost going down. It's expensive for ByuN. He's losing a lot in the trailing stages of this fight. I'm going to dive up. This Immortal has to lift back into the Prism straight away. This Orbital needs to actually be repaired. I love the lift just to stop the Zealots from being too much of a factor. As we do begin to chase down, the Immortal very nearly dies in the process. ByuN stims once more, eats a Storm. Can we get rid of the Prism? No anti-air? Well, actually, maybe the Ghost could have targeted down the Prism. I don't love that we kind of let the Zealots warp in there. I actually think the Ghost could have targeted down the Prism, and then you maybe clean up the army. Instead, now you're kind of left kind of running back and forth against it, so it kind of leads you just into a more awkward situation than what it ever really needed to be. We're not going to lose the Orbital as well in the end. Good job from Creator. Problem is, Creator's army supply is still severely lacking. And as the Terran army gets more kind of, well, joined together, that's going to create more and more problems. This army is stuck in a corner. We're going to jump on it as it gets recalled. Going to lose a lot of units while trying to recall, and that is going to be probably the chance for ByuN just to keep going in. Creator going to say GG after 24 minutes. And ByuN is going to take the 1-0. In the bottom left-hand side, our Red Protoss player. Down a game. It is going to be Creator. I guess he kind of liked by Protoss players typically. Terrans usually veto this, but obviously ByuN letting it come through, so let's see what is going to happen. It's in the top right. It is going to be ByuN. All right, so a little bit of TvP. ByuN is already going to build a fairly forward initial barracks on the map here, so it's also already going to be something to pay a little bit of attention to. Creator Scout sees no barracks on the high ground, is going to pull back instead. And the probe is actually going to find this SCV in the middle now. SCV is going to try and get to the corner. The probe's going to be sitting there as the SCV is just going to finish up the barracks, and is actually going to get out alive as well, so nicely done. Well, just going to get ourselves a depot going into place. We do have our Cyber Core coming through, the Nexus is coming about. Let's get a lot of these up and running for the moment as we have ourselves a factory coming through. Get those on the way. Well, I'm going to take a few early moments, obviously coming out of a 24-minute game, long one. We have to stop and reset a little bit coming out of that, of course, so that's what we're looking to do here. Twilight Council will drop down. Cyclone still on the way up. The reactor coming through. Again, the Twilight Council coming up on the side of Creator as well, so we continue to bring that into action. Central's in production with that Warp Gate about halfway done. Just having ourselves that a little bit of harassment getting set up here early. Looking to try and see what we can find for ourselves as the Warp Gate is going to finish. Twilight Council's about to be coming up as well. And we'll be seeing the Tech Lab dropping onto the factory there, so let's see what everything ends up doing. Again, with the Cyclone out, you're going to be pretty safe. The early game is going to be a good standalone unit. Probably can't justify on its own going across the map or anything, but you know, with a medevac, it could absolutely be across the map and doing something as well. So things to watch out for there. We do have that factory moving back over here. Tech Lab will be placed. Plus, the SCV is still coming across to get the natural mining. It's a fairly comfortable opening, all said and done out of ByuN. Was the Reaper early, but otherwise, again, so obviously proxy the barracks a little bit. It's not super proxied, but then to lose the Reaper isn't ideal. But you are now going to have the medevac and the Cyclone to try and cause a little bit of trouble at the front, and you already see a defensive wall coming up. A couple extra gates as well, by the way. That's going to take us to 3 gates once more with this blink play from Creator. See if he can find any aggressive blink timings this time around that he wasn't able to get done last time, as we actually blink past the units there. There's going to be a Cyclone in the natural mineral line. I don't think Creator saw the medevac. He's not pulling his units back until just now. That's a disaster. 2 probes go down. The third one just gets out of range. Now we go into the main base. Battery is not done here just yet, so we're going to find 1 more probe. That's 4 workers now killed in quick succession. Back down to the low ground, we'll find number 5. And ByuN is going to lift up and go to the corner. Fantastic opening from ByuN. Loads of damage dealt. The units having to turn around, and the medevac's still here, which keeps some units at home, which delays the amount of units coming across the map in the form of a stalker pressure. Even now going to see Cloak Banshees coming through as well, as ByuN looks to double down on aggression in these early stages of game number 2. If he can get those Banshees across the map and start harassing some mineral lines, I'm pretty sure he's going to have a very good time there as well. So TLDR, a lot to be watching out for over the next few minutes. We'll drop both those assimilators into the natural, which means we are attacking here as Creator on the back of his 3rd base. Not super wild, but it is going to at least indicate, hey, this is not going to be some like super heavy gateway only kind of unit play. This isn't going to be like Zealot Stalker just being, you know, made en masse. We will be seeing probably a Robo Bay coming down alongside the already established Robo facility. Or Templar Archives, if you want to then switch into charge and play kind of more towards that as your next step. And it is in fact going to be the Templar Archives here for Creator, so I'm not going to play the Colossus, instead going to play that Templar Archives route. Plus 1 attack and stim, continue through the Observer to the upper right hand side. More Stalkers of Creator head to the top of the map as well. Bio still joins together. A few Stalkers get settled, and we are going to see the Starboard swapping over to a Reactor. A little bit of swapperoo on the add-ons. These Banshees could be deadly, by the way. Even if you have detection, just the Banshee showing up and the units not being at home to defend already is a problem. The Cyclone is ready to come back in as well. Yes, it's going to have a battery to contend with in the main base, but very possible that that gets quite some damage done here as well. As that Bio comes out, our tanks as well. Here we go. Banshee to start getting probes, and remember, this was already damaged done early. Now we're actually going to kill a Stalker as it's warping in, apparently. We're going to give up on that with the battery nearby. Templars, though, not near the battery. We're going to force them to become an Archon, which is not exactly ideal. And we are just going to miss-target quite a few times with these Banshees, and yet that's still going to be okay. Into the natural. Units are not nearby, and Creator, is not in a great spot, to say the least. 15 dead probes. Both Banshees are alive. The Cyclone here is going to unload, and like I said, it's going to have a battery to contend with, but you start draining that of energy, right? And it's just going to pull the probes away for a second. It's just one more thing to think about, as we are pushing units away on the right-hand side as well. So Banshees actually do go for 1 more kill, but it costs us, I think we got 2 more kills, but it cost you the Banshee. Bio at the front. Storm is still about to finish. The Prism is about to be done as well. Extra probes on the way. The Gateway's coming up. Storm is about to complete. Well, the Bio unloads over here. ByuN, obviously, does not have a third CC on location yet. He does have a third CC, it's just not in position. He's done a lot of eco damage. It's all about now just following up with that army at some point. There's a battery here that will do some healing. This Banshee, though, will find one more probe out of reach. Okay, got into reach in the end. Cyclone comes back in again, just being an annoyance, forcing another warp in. And again, we're just kind of waiting for the point where we just go full send. And we just bring our units across the map as ByuN. Every time he pushes these Stalkers back, it's going to be one more opportunity for him to maybe do that. Another chance starting to develop. Cyclone went all the way to the natural before going down. This is now 28 probes dead in the game. I mean, to be fair, Creator has done okay across the map. He's killed 2 siege tanks. He's killed quite a few Marines. He has slowed down the Terran army from, progressing up into an unmanageable amount. If he hadn't done all of that and found the value with those Blink Stalkers, he would be dead in the water right now. So, able to make some work for himself there. Gonna have ourselves a Bio, gonna knock down this set of rocks. And ByuN obviously on the map cruising about, does have double upgrades where his opponent doesn't have any. These are the sort of things you have to give up as Creator when you take damage early in the game. You have to give up like upgrades. You can't just kind of get everything out as per usual. So it definitely makes a bit of a difference. Yo, Lemming C, thank you so much for the 11-month resub. Welcome back. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Bio repositioning coming back through the center. A little bit more Bio, a few ghosts coming across as well. We are going to head down to the bottom right-hand side. Have a good EMP, kills the Prism with the Vikings, but also just got rid of the High Templar energy, so if that was an attempted storm, which it absolutely was, then it just doesn't happen. Cancel on the 4th phase, there's some Archon chased off to the right side. Still a few units to guarantee the kill on that, and we continue to be in great position here. As ByuN, again, just keeping himself in a great spot, up 1-0. Looking to 2-0 his way into the closed qualifiers. More EMPs going down again, +1 attack, extended thermal lance coming through. ByuN never got 2-2 on the go. His armor only just finishing. So he has let Creator back into the game in terms of upgrades, but he's got all the other tech. It is quite common for a Terran to delay upgrades when they hit kind of 3 to 4 bases. And instead of going 2-2, instead spend that money on investing into Starport, Viking production, and a Ghost at the same time, because that's quite a lot of tech to then build all at once, but it's quite often a lot of tech that's needed all at once. ByuN's 4th base has moved into location here. And we just have our stem coming back down the right-hand side. It's a couple of Zealots running up over here. Just going to get into this mineral line where the Bioforce is going to come through. A couple of Zealots will go down immediately. Everything else collecting together, and we do have this army spreading across the top and the right-hand side. Some more barracks coming through. The Starport's about to be finished. We can drop an EMP or 2 down. Disruptors are still coming about. Our Vikings trying to take position. Disruptor shot comes through. It's going to be a dodge for the moment here. The Vikings now chasing us. We're going to get rid of a couple of Disruptors. Vikings get rid of 1 Colossus. They're going to get a second easily. Looks like they're just going to go for all 3. So all Colossi will go down, and the Bioforce is not going to stop. However, he needs to chill a little bit because running headfirst all clumped up into the storms is never going to be a good thing. That's one thing we've got to get under control ASAP, which we do. And we can get back on track from here now. The storm comes down, the Vikings will get rid of the prism. An observer there actually went down as well though, so a little bit of back and forth. ByuN still maxed. Still holding the position on the map. Still feel like he's got the better army, but he's got to be careful of disruptors. Of course, disruptors can change everything in an instant. Disruptor's still chilling. You see the Archon's coming down. There's ramp, one Archon going down. Disruptor shot lands on a couple of units. Disruptors again going through. The Ghosts, for the most part, do the dodging that is necessary. Now going to turn it to come all the way down to the south side here. We are going to aim for, well, this base potentially. One more Disruptor shot, but we're so far away from the Bio Army that's never going to connect. And now we get rid of this base, and that's a fourth base down from Creator, and he is going to be in trouble. These probes have to run through the Bio to get away, so we're going to lose a few of those. Even if we got a base back up, we're going to be without a bunch of the probes. Again, just more you have to rebuild as ByuN goes get rid of one Disruptor. The second Disruptor shot there was able to connect. He killed the not firing Disruptor first, unfortunately, so that is going to be a bit of damage taken, but he still gets 3 Disruptors out of the trade. Gets nipped by one more to lose 2 Marauders. Actually have an attack across the map. He's going to intercept these Vikings. What does ByuN have at home? He does have some units. He's got to be careful, though. He's losing Ghosts to these Disruptors. If Disruptor shots keep landing, can end up in a lot of trouble, obviously, and of course losing the Ghost especially means that you're no longer on the EMPs and the ability to kind of take away the Archons from the fight, so that's all going to be problematic as well. 13, 14 SCVs, 15 SCVs going down, still counting as Creator makes a push in, but this is very much so a final push from him. The Disruptor got caught on the missile turret, however we did still land for a pretty decent set of kills. Now one Marauder going down, a couple Marauders on the other side. We get rid of this Disruptor. There we have got Vikings that may just want to land for the DPS increase to this force, because if you can clean this out, then we're golden, and we are very close to clearing it out. We just need that little bit of extra damage as the Zealots show up. Going to make it difficult. ByuN is doubling the army supply. He just needs to get all the units here at the right time. He's also got Libs coming through with advanced ballistics to support it. Creator says GG. ByuN will close it out 2-0, and that will be our match just for the day, as ByuN guarantees himself a spot in the close.